Hey guys, Keys here, and I want to talk about Veracity. It's a coin that has a really small market cap, so it is, kind of risky, but because it's such a small market cap, I think it has the potential to do crazy gains in the next cycle. And it actually does have pretty good tokenomics and a good developer team, but for me, I'm more interested in price, and I'm not gonna hodl. Like, I'm not a hodler anymore. I was a hodler when I first came into the markets because that's all I heard online and everything, and on Twitter and whatever. But in my opinion, that's like how you go broke if you just hodl. So do not hodl, in my opinion. And I'm not gonna hodl this coin. I'm gonna dump it on the market when I think the time is right. But anyways, guys, this is a parallel channel. You can see that the Veracity chart has put in a very nice looking parallel channel and it's been holding since 2020. This is the COVID crash in 2020. This was in January 2021, and then this was when Bitcoin was in 65K and when Bitcoin hit 69K. So basically went from around 0.00035, 36 or whatever, but three zeros in the three, all the way up to 5.5 cents in the first run up, and then 8.8 cents on the second run up. So really, really massive return. I mean, from the bottom of the COVID drop to the peak, it was a 38,700% gain. So that's around a 387% or 388x. So that's turning 1K into 388K. And imagine if you had like any significant amount of money in that, and at that point, like, that is just insane. But anyways, that's what it did in the first cycle. 384x. And I do believe in diminishing returns over cycles, so I do think this next cycle will probably see less than a 384x, but I do think we'll see, I do think it's possible to get at least 100x on this coin, at least from the low at zero. So let's just actually talk about it. So after we hit 8.8 cents in the peak, we basically went straight down all the way into December 2022. So this is right before Bitcoin got its rally in 2023. And we went down to 0.002, so 0.2 of a cent. And then once we hit that, we actually got a massive bounce. This was a 5x. So we went from the low all the way up into about 1.1 cent. So it was about 435% move. That's massive. And then honestly, after that move in February, it ended in February, we've kind of just been slowly grinding down. At one point, this was a descending wedge, and we broke up from it. At one point it was like this, I think, something like this. Is this on the log scale? Yeah, it is. So at one point we had something like this going on, and you can actually see we ended up breaking up to the upside. And there was reasons, they did change tokenomics and stuff in a really positive way. I made a video on it back then, like a month ago when that happened. So I'm not going to talk about it now because it's going to take me forever, but they changed the tokenomics. Like I said, I'm not really into that stuff. I'm just into what the charts say, and this chart to me looks really good, and so does the Bitcoin pair. So we're going to take a look at that in a sec. But I made a video yesterday talking about Bitcoin, and I was saying how I think that we could be seeing some market manipulation right now, and that Bitcoin might also be in a Wyckoff distribution phase. So if that does play out, I don't know if it will, but if we do end up tanking back down, then Veracity might. I don't know if it would, but Veracity could maybe break this trend line, because the thing is, Veracity has actually outperformed Bitcoin. Real quick, right now we're up from the low this year. Since January of this year, we're up 170% almost. Bitcoin's up 107% or something. So Veracity this year has outperformed Bitcoin, and so if that trend continues, even if Bitcoin gets a massive sell-off, maybe if Veracity just matches that sell-off, it doesn't do anything worse. If Bitcoin gets a 30% drop, then maybe Veracity just drops 30%. Probably honestly would drop more, let's be real, but right now to hit the bottom of the trend line, if we did it next week, would be 25%. The longer it takes us to hit this trend line, the higher it's the smaller the drop is, because it's going up over time. But I do think there is actually a risk that we do take out the trend line, even if it's brief, even if we just deviate below it for a little bit and then we come back and reclaim it. I still think that it's possible. I'm not too worried about it though, because we do have the 0.002 level. The market definitely respects it. I respect it. If we did come down here, I think this would be a huge blessing because this is just so cheap for Veracity. I mean, 0.002, and it would be a double bottom potentially. I think that would be great to set a double bottom and then maybe reclaim the trend line and then we go up over time. If not, honestly, if we do lose, both the bottom of the parallel channel and this level of support, then the next level, and honestly, I think this would be the final level of support. Like, I don't really think we would go lower than this. It is actually at 0.0013. And, these drops are pretty big. Like I said, about 25 right now to the parallel channel, bottom of it. About a 62% drop to get us back to the December low, 63. And if it took us all the way down to the bottom of this next level, then it's around a 77% drop. So that is pretty big, actually. I think that it would basically be, Veracity would be so cheap at that point. I really don't think it's coming down here. I do think like the 0.002 level could be hit again. I really actually do think we could. I don't even know if we will, but I really don't think we're coming down here, in my opinion. And let's talk about price predictions now, like on the upside. Like, according to this chart, and I'm like, these aren't even numbers that I'm just randomly pulling out of, like making up or anything. This is just how the chart looks to me. And if we do continue this pattern where we hit the bottom of it, then we hit the top, then we hit the bottom of it again, then I actually have these two pink lines are 4 years out, so it's 4 years from this previous cycle. So it's April 2025 and November 2025. Then if we were to repeat and hit the top at that time, we were looking at a price at $1.35 for Veracity and $2.15 for Veracity. I do think those numbers are a bit too high in my opinion. I don't know if Veracity is actually going to hit them. But the charts are saying it is possible. And so far we've been holding this parallel channel, and until we deviate from it, I'm just gonna keep following what I see in the charts. But if I'm gonna be completely honest and a little bit more conservative, I'm personally targeting anywhere between 50 cents to $1 right now for Veracity. Those are my targets. I think they're definitely doable. It's not that much of 50 cents is definitely doable. Like, I think it actually will go to 50. $1 is a little bit more of a stretch for me, but I do also think it is possible. And it's definitely more conservative than what the charts are saying. So I don't think it's a ridiculous like price prediction or like target to be aiming for. And if we did actually get to those levels from the bottom, let's say like we double bottom or like we set a high low, we never hit this. If December is going to be the low of the bear market, then from there to 50 cents is around a 238x. That, like I said, I believe in diminishing returns over cycles. So that's less than the 385x in the first cycle. So I definitely think this is doable. The dollar price prediction is actually higher. It's a 467x. So like I said, it's a bit of a reach. I don't think it's impossible, but it is a little bit of a reach in my opinion. But anywhere between 50 cents to $1 is my target. And even 50 cents being a 230, whatever it was, 235x, I mean, I think any of us would take that. Of course, that's from the low right now. If we were to take it from where we are right now, it's definitely going to be a lot smaller. Yeah, 86x, 87 actually. No. 89x. 89x from where we are now to 50 cents. And if we went to $1 right now, it'd be 174x. So, I mean, still 80x from where we are now. I mean, it is less than 100x. And I do want to get 100x one day on a coin. I'm still trying to get that. Maybe Veracity will be the coin, but yeah, those are my price predictions, or like what I see in the chart, really. And I really like the USD pair, but I also like Veracity because of the Bitcoin pair still looks pretty good too. Like, you always got to take a look at the Bitcoin pair when looking at altcoins, making sure you're outperforming Bitcoin and you're not just losing your value on Bitcoin. And the Veracity chart looks pretty good on this Bitcoin pair. It's not amazing, but it's a lot better than a lot of charts. I mean, we talked about Polkadot and stuff like that. Like, this chart at least looks like it has solid levels of support and a target we could potentially be selling at. If we do hit, like if we do come back up to the top here, maybe it's a good time to sell. And What I also really like about this chart is that the midpoint is literally where we've been finding resistance and support. The dotted lines that is the midpoint of the parallel channel. And we've been finding support all year. I mean, this was the December low right before we got the 5X, right? We came down right to the bottom of this area, had a huge rally up. You can kind of see I have like a smaller little resistance level here and support that we kind of bounced off of and found resistance off of a couple times. But I don't know which way it's going to break, like if we do break up or down, because you can kind of see we do have this resistance above. And if we did break down, by the way, like I do think we'd come down probably around this level, because you can see every time we lose the support in the midpoint, it looks like around this level is where we can find some support. So I would be targeting down here, which is between, let's just say an average of 470, let's just say 500 Satoshis. And this average is around 1500. So if we were to drop right now to the middle of here, it's around a 71% drop. It kind of makes sense. I mean, that does go in line with dropping around 77% down if we came to the 1.4% level here. But this is on the Bitcoin pair, so it is different. It's calculated differently because it's calculated based on Bitcoin. I don't even know if we're going to drop. Honestly, Veracity, like I said, has actually outperformed Bitcoin this year in 2023. So, and we're like over the bear market. I mean, you can I guess you can say the accumulation year is kind of still the same as the bear market year. But I do think 2022 was a bear market year. I think 2023 is an accumulation year, and I think 2024 will be is obviously the halving year, and then 2025 will be the bull market year. So if we are over we're past the bear market year, if we are past it and we're just in the accumulation year, like I don't see why like Veracity just can't hold this level. Even right now, if we drop to the bottom of it from where we are now, it's still like a 22% drop. So we do have room to drop. Veracity being a really small market cap though, it could drop really quickly though if it does drop. So things to be worried about is just, it is a small market cap coin. And if the economy actually does, like, I'm not just talking about Bitcoin, I'm talking about the S&P, the unemployment rate, like people start losing their jobs, things like actually get out of control for a little bit, and like the Fed doesn't step in for a little bit, then I mean, maybe that we do get a huge tank in this coin. But even if we did, I think that by 2024, 2025, the strength that I've seen all year in 2023, to me is really bullish. The charts itself, I mean, if you look at this chart on your own, you can make your own like decisions off of it. But I mean, this to me looks like a pretty good chart, especially when you look at other altcoins. And I just think that it's something that it's a coin that if you haven't heard about, then just be on the lookout for it. Just like try to keep track of it. I think it's a good idea. You don't have to buy it. Like definitely don't buy it now. If it comes down here, like I said, I would probably buy it. In my opinion, I'm gonna buy it down here. If it did, if we touch this trend line again, maybe you can try taking a long here because maybe it actually does hold. But I do think there's a chance we deviate below, so it's a little bit of a scary thing to do. But I think it has a great future, and I just wanted to show you guys this chart if you guys have never seen it. So thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.